welcome everyone, especially the finalists who are presenting this evening. So I think we should just do it alphabetical order, so we don't have to struggle about the order. So I think Aboabo number 4 spot is here, so I'll just project your slide. Then you go along with the presentation. Whenever you want me to move to the next, you just let me know. But before that, I don't know if the judges will have anything to say before we start, or we can just move ahead.
Would it be good to get the judges just to introduce themselves?
Akwesi, if you can hear from us, probably you can introduce yourself, and if you have anything to say before we begin.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear.
Perfect. Yes, good evening. My name is Akwesi McLaren. I have almost now, it's getting close to maybe 2 decades in background when it comes to sustainability. I have an eco-lodge that I've been working on now for 15 years, working a lot to do with sustainable architecture, composting toilets, solar system, things like this. So for me, I've known Kat for many years now. Well, actually, since the beginning of Dadwen Spot. So I'm actually, for me, I'm quite honored right now to be a part of this whole contest right now. And yeah, I think maybe I'll just cut it off there. And looking forward to hear all the different applicants and all the different groups.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know if our second judge can just introduce herself.
Yeah, thank you, Sedu, and I believe I can be heard loud and clear. My name is Chibezi Ezekiel, and I coordinate the Strategic Youth Network for Development. Basically, what we do is we promote young people's voices in the governance of our natural resources and environmental sector. We work in 4 key thematic areas or programmatic areas, which are climate change, biodiversity, and forestry. But personally, I am more skewed towards energy transition, critical minerals issue, and it's a joy to be part of this meeting, and I look forward to hearing the fantastic ideas, from the panelists, and to see how we can support everyone. And for me, I mean, even though we are supposed to get one winner today. I believe all the rest are also, have fantastic ideas. That's why they have become finalists in the first place. So I'm looking forward to hearing their plans and maybe how we can even support them moving forward. Thank you, and over to you, Sid.
Okay, thank you so much, Ezekiel. So like I said earlier, the order will be first Aboabo number 4, then we go to Abofour, then Ampatano will come, then Dadwen, and then I think Kato Brekum, then we take Joska. So I'm going to project your slide for Aboabo number 4 if you are ready. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Can we go?
Yes, we can hear from you.
Okay. So I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Okay. So my name is Jeff Tawapan. I'm presenting on behalf of Aboabo number 4 Spots, and our catalysts are with us here supporting us. So that's our school. So over the years, we have been seeing an exponential rate of deforestation in our spot. Fortunately for us, our spot is within the enclave of the forestry zones. So we've seen an exponential rate of deforestation to the extent that most trees that were used as shade for students, gradually with time, they were cut down, and we thought that this was a threat. So when the issue of green projects came, we were so glad to be part of this initiative. So that's why we joined on board. And today we are here to present our ideas. So next slide, please. So that is the system problem. So we noticed that there was a critical environmental issues on us. And so we have to act now. And we thought that if we don't act now, we will be done. And that is our statement of problem. In another sense, this is the very pressing issue that motivates us to join this noble cause. And so at an exponential rate, there was a consistent threat to our environment so that the trees were down at the point that we decided to go about getting trees to replace them. And so when this idea came up, we thought it was a nice idea. Okay, so next slide, please. So this is what we developed for the solutions. And our solutions has been tested and has been verified. In other words, our solutions have passed the test of time through our little initiative that we took prior to the actual green challenge coming up. So our first thing we want to do is tree planting. And this is how we seek to solve our problems. Because we thought that the issue has to do with deforestation. And one major way to do that is to start with afforestation or tree planting. And this is what we do. One, we intend to plant 150 indigenous trees, i.e. mahogany. And so we have mahogany, we have the neem tree. In fact, what goes into choosing these particular trees is that these trees have the ability to withstand harsh weathers in terms of the droughts. They could withstand this weathers. And so we intend to plant these trees in the school compound. Again, so our school happens to be within the catchment area of the community that most of the communities pass around to churches. So we are within the community. So we think that planting tree will be so visible that the message will be so clear and that it will be an ideal time, ideal place. So we're trying to plant 150 trees around the school to assign each student. That's basically what we're doing. Assign each student with a tree. So once the student plant the tree, we assign them. In other words, they become the owners of it. They take control. And over the years, we have tested that theory. Once students are given or they are given the responsibility to take care of tree, they feel a sense of entitlement and they take no chances in caring for the trees. In other words, they think that this is theirs. And so they become part of this course. So we intend to assign each student a tree for taking ownership of it by watering it, records of the tree. Then again, introduce cash crops. So fortunately for us, we also have a school farm. Yes, so we have a school farm where we go for lesson activities. Sometimes certain activities we have to go to the field. So there was an empty area there. So we decided to do what we call a school farm. So we intend to deepen this by planting cash crops such as pepper, plantain at the school farm to teach sustainable agroforestry. So once there's time for agroforestry or lessons that we need, so we can easily access the school farm. And we think that would be very best way. Another one is environmental education. And this is how we're going to do this. So on PTA meeting, I'm saying PTA, Parents Teachers Association, in a meeting where the parents are around, we want to take advantage of the meeting to educate the farmers, because these are rural areas, these are farming areas. We intend to take advantage of the meeting to pass on this message, to spread this gospel, to tell them about the impact.
Please, you have 1 minute left.
Okay, so that's community involvement. So we intend to sell seedlings for the community members as well through the association of the forestry commissions. So we have that assurance for them. Next slide, please. Next slide. Then we have sustainability. So one way of sustaining is to assign the student for each plant. So once they have that authority, we think that they could take care of it. They will make sure that tree stand the test of time. Then regular monitoring by teachers. We are going to make sure that each tree, the life of the tree is monitored in terms of growth, pesticide, and regular that there will be constant check on these trees. And then we intend to have a short term. The short term, we intend to replace these trees, and the long terms, the biodiversity will be replaced. The last slide. So per our calculations, we think that an amount of 5,000 is an ideal to accomplish these missions. We think that we get basic seedlings, we can get irrigational cans, like watering cans, fertilizers, and then community outreach. Sometimes you gather them they have to be some small piece of biscuit for, and then within that 5,000, it's enough to do this magic. And so
Okay,
we
thank you
look
very
forward
much.
to accomplish.
It's time up. Thank you very much. Sorry, I'm cutting you short, but we have to go by the time so we can complete the presentations. Judges, I don't know if there are questions before we move on to the next presenter. I will let Joska present next. I understand it's already 9 p.m. at Kenya, so Joska, be getting ready. But Akosi and Ezekiel, over to you if you have questions for the team.
I have just one quick question. As you have the school farm that's already in place. I just want to know, you were saying you want to develop a curriculum also having nature walks and things like this.
Yeah, so this is Charles Macharia from the Marsh Foundation, Joska, Kenya. So we are pitching for a snail project. I first of all want to appreciate for us being the finalist. So I'll just begin on the project, why we decided about it and the challenges that you're going through in the community. So I'll just go to the challenges straight away. So number one challenge, you can go to the next slide. So I think one of our biggest challenges is the urban setting. We're having a challenge of waste management, especially for the organic waste. So we discovered that because of space, the place has started being, people have started building and they can burn the papers and the plastic, but the organic waste, they don't have farms. It's a bit quick, so we decided to think of a way they can go to like make use of this organic waste. So what we decided is to come up with a project, a snail project, which did a bit of research and discover that we can try a snail project that doesn't need a lot of labor and is able to compose the organic and be able to sell the snails after they have matured over 3 months. So even in the market, we're thinking the project projects and grows. We can help to collect the waste from the market. That is the organic material, the waste from the plants that have been brought in the market, and then we take it to the snails project. So we go to the second slide, please. Yeah, the second slide is that was our challenge. Now our solution is we need to start a snail project, a small one, as in a small project. We suggested 10 snails, and after 3 months, we're able to give them most of the waste, and then in 3 months, 1,000 or 2,000 in the market, depending on the market stock purchasing rate. So we also have a big farm that does snail farming, which is buying from small farmers. And we want first of all to introduce it to the Marsh Foundation Community Center. Then once they grow and we're able to generate more, we can also to give some families who are needy and also create some small satellite farms of snails within the community. So that was our solution for organic waste. We can go to the next slide, please. So what is our projection? We intend to start with 10 snails for now. And then from there, we're able to, after 3 months, once they get the small ones, we can move them from the hatcheries and from the parents. And then we start new broods to be able to see how we're able to increase. So our project is to increase from 10 to 100 in 3 months. And you'll be able to generate more income, able to buy some more snails and put them into the brooders. And once we sell, our idea is to be able to generate income to fund our satellite libraries. We have 6 libraries to be able to get some books for the libraries and make the logistics to take the books there. So that is our main objective, because we discovered that it's been a challenge for us to maintain these satellite libraries. So that's why we came up with that idea of snails to help in the organic waste and also be able to generate income to support our community library. We can go to the next slide, please. Our case study, we have a friend called Mugo, who has been keeping snails for 1 year, and he's been licensed by the Kenya Forestry to do that. So he's our expertise who's going to give us guidance on how to keep the snails, and is able to help us to know how to train even more people person. So that is why we pick up that project, because there's so many other projects. Because of space and limitation, we still decided to take up this one. Thank you. So we can go to the costing maybe. I don't know, the next one is case study. Yeah, the costing. These are rough estimates on what you could begin with. We thought about buying 20 snails, each is around 300 shillings. So this mesh on top to ensure that the snails don't crawl out and maybe be eaten by other rodents or predators. We thought of a so in case of whatever support you give. Okay, so I think the last slide was the responsibility, who's going to be responsible. We talked about the trustees, the catalyst, and also the community. So that was our last. Depending on the number that you're going to be having. That is the Marsh Foundation volunteers. We have the team, that is me, Tina, Faith. And then we have also the children coming to the library. If they're able to come with a bit of waste, organic waste from their families, they can come and give to the snails. And also the community, if they have organic waste, once the project increases. And also increase our capacity as time goes by. So that is our project, the snail project for initiating as an income generating activity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Charles, and then the Joska Spot. Please, Akwesi and Ezekiel.
Thank you.
Over to you.
I just want to ask a quick question. Right now, you're saying how many people are volunteering right now with the MASH Foundation?
Currently, we have 5, but the ones who are close to the project, to the library, are 3. But the rest are the children. They come to read books for free. If they have organic, they can bring
beside the library?
Yeah, we come to the library, we have some organics, just drop and we give them to the snails.
Okay. I'm sure we can move to the next presenter, if that is fine, if there are no any other questions.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for staying awake, Charles and the Marsh Foundation team. Now we will go back to the order we defined. Okay, Ezekiel has a question. Please, you can ask that.
Well, no, I don't really have a question, but just to say that our lights just went off, so that's why I lost connection for the first presentation. Even for this one, I only got to see the budget, so I unfortunately couldn't follow because of the power outage we had. My apologies. So I mean, we can progress from here.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you so much for letting us know. So, Team Abofour, over to you.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. Yes, we are presenting on Abofour Spot innovation, and our objective is to our title is to find significant solution to the environmental challenges we are facing in the Abofour community, especially on the issue of plastic paper, that is a box waste production pollution in Abofour. Yeah, so objectively, we are also thinking of reducing the negative impact of the plastic waste pollution in Abofour by recycling method, and also make a very useful product out of the plastic and paper box that we see as waste in our community. Yeah, we are also targeting the making of 150 rubbish and around 40 shoe racks and different decorative and design baskets production for start. And so moving forward, we are going to look at Abofour. Abofour is a very business community with a lot of people coming to trade. Therefore, we are encountering a lot of pollutions and eventually getting environmental issues. And then, as we know, every challenge has a solution. So we have also devised a solution for that particular challenge. This is our problem, actually. We are facing a lot of plastic and then paper waste production as that, and we need immediate solution to solve it. Again, the recent rainfall has also exposed us to a lot of challenges that the plastic and paper waste production are putting into the society solution. Why the need? Yes, if nothing is done at the moment, system, and a lot of these waste products are being dumped in it, and then it's causing a lot to take out those kind of rubbish. That is the way we mentioned earlier, the plastic and then the paper waste there from that particular environment, and then reuse it or recycle it to make it a very important thing for the people to also use it in their houses. So these are solutions that we have devised. One, we'll be collecting those plastic waste materials and then recycle them. To some extent, if we need to buy it from them, we have to do it at a minimum cost. And then also, we'll be using it to decorate dustbins, which we have already started using the dustbins in our schools. And then also the other baskets that have a different shape and for different purposes that we can put our miscellaneous things in it. If that will make it also very simple for us to locate those kind of miscellaneous things when we need them. And also shoe racks that we can use in our houses and then schools and every place that we need to put the shoes in. Our pot and then the fan that we use when we are cooking to fan the fire to make it more fire. And then also we are going to embark on an educational project because the community needs to be sensitized on the effect of plastic and paper waste in the community. And then the learners and catalysts are also going to have a regular impact or regular work to do in order to help solve the problem that is at hand. The impact is that currently we have started doing this project, and especially when it comes to our school, Mesa International School, we are currently using the rubbish collector and then the basket that we need to also do to put things in it. Pens and pencils, the erasers are also there that are making it easy for you to have access to it. So we are also targeting the use of gallons to produce those kind of things. And then also the communities like schools, libraries, churches, homes, and office can also have impact in it. So currently that is what we are using now. So learners and the catalysts are also going to gain some entrepreneurship skills to support their career and also develop their attentiveness in artwork and creation. We're also going to talk the impact we are going to bring will involve a regular cleanup of the environment, and then people also need to be sensitized on the need to avoid pollution and then embrace the idea of making efforts to reuse the waste product over there. And so that is the impact. So for financial, we are going to sell this kind of product and gain income from it to support the library and then the other learners. Sustainability, we are using this project as a viable business to engage. We are going to engage shop owners as agents to sell for us. We are going to sell it to the hospitals, individuals, and also we are going to give a regular sanitation and train people on how to use materials like this to make it a useful thing in the environment. These are some of the pictures of the waste materials we took and what we have used it to do. We have used it to do rabbit collector, the dustbin, the basket, and then other decorative material and the shoe rack. You see from there, and then So because it involves a lot of projects or items, we are going to buy certain tools and some of the materials to help us to come out with the product and then sell it outside. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Franklin and Team Abofour. Again, questions to them, the panelists.
Maybe I just want to ask this question. Right now, it seems you're already doing the program already. So I'm just wondering, what is the difference between what you're proposing? Is it that you need to have the extra tools so you can take things to a new level? You already have some really interesting products you're already producing. So I'm just wondering, what are the exact next products you're looking to produce?
Yes, we have been using it here, and we want to take it to the community level so that at least we could get a lot of hands on it and then produce a useful product for the community to get used to it, or get a useful use of that particular waste that they see in the environment. And then we need capital to also expand this kind of business and make it a viable business for a long-term purposes.
Okay, thank you very much. Ezekiel, please, are there any questions for Abofour?
Thank you, Abofour, for that fantastic submission. I mean, it is refreshing to know that this is something you're already doing, so it's not something now you intend to do now. So I see that what you want to do is an issue of upscaling, your intervention. So what I was hoping to see is that you mentioned that the community is a business or it's a market community. That means, people trade there a lot. So I was hoping to see that, assuming you don't have any money or the only money you had was the budget or the grant that is being given to you, hopefully, how you are going to maximize that amount of money like a businessman. So if you have 5,000, how many stuff are you going to produce to be able to create this amount of products and sell it at this rate? More like a business case, if you ask me, because that's what I think you want to do. So I was hoping to see you make a business case, how you're going to drive this, not just as a passion or to protect the environment, but to make ends meet, to create livelihoods, to create opportunities for people. So I wanted to see more of the business cases, in that regard. But otherwise, I think it's a fantastic submission, and it's good to know, like I said, that this is something that you are doing already, and you only want to upscale and make it more profiting, for people in the community. But so it's just a comment that I want to make to this. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much for your feedback. I think we can proceed to the next team, Ampatano. Please, Team Ampatano, you can go ahead, Francis.
Okay. Good evening to you all. This is Ampatano Green Spot project. We have it as we are using duration of 6 to 2 years to complete this project. And to start with, we want to give brief information about Ampatano. Ampatano is a fishing community in the Western region, precisely in the Hunter West. And most of the parents there are fisher folks who their children are there. And our learners are very active in terms of all the activity involving Edu sport, restaurants, and other. So this year's Green Spot Challenge, when the opportunity was given to all of the sport to go about it, what we did is that we sat as catalysts and plan as what to do. So we look at our environment, and we came out with 2 ideas. One was to work around our spot, and the other one was to work around the shore of the sea. So we finally choose the working around our spot. Our spot is located, actually we don't have it's a community center, and we've spoken with the community elders, and we borrow one of their rooms. We've created a library there. So the community use it during the weekends for their funerals and other stuff. And we saw that the environment is very dirty. Dry leaves of sugarcane peels, rubbers, and a whole lot of around the spot. And then the back too was very weedy, which can also attract snakes. And then we also saw that when it rains, because the structure is put just below a hill, there's a slight hill. Then below it, that's where the community center is. So when it rains, the rains from the top there flow to the down into the shore. So it's causing erosion around the building. So we thought that no, one, the place is unkept, the place is dirty, and then two, erosion is also trying to affect this building. And this is the only building that we are using as our library. Actually, we don't have enough classrooms, so we can't even say let's go and use the school, one of the school class as library. So why don't you do something to protect this structure so that it could help us and also help the community as well. So we thought of first going there to clean the area. I weed around, sweep around, burn all the rubbish around. That was the first thing that we did. Then second, then we have to plant flowers around the building to prevent this rain. So that when the rain falls, then the rain that is coming from the roof to the ground, I think the flowers can reduce that pressure that is coming from the top to the flowers can reduce it small. So we did the planting of the flowers. I think we went to Ampatano. You can't get, you don't get the flowers there. So you have to go to Aguna to go and get a flower from someone that who we thought he can help us. We went there and plant this flower there. Then you also have to protect the flower. Because go to another community, if you don't protect it, anytime there's funeral, they can just uproot these flowers again. So we need to protect it, do something around it so that it can stay. And then sometimes the children also play around the same area. So we have to do a slide garden using rope to tie it around the flowers that we have planted so that it will not spoil, so that it can grow and grow well. So that's how we plant and we executed that. And then we have to talk of watering it in the morning and then in the evening. That's what and then so we signed some of the learners to do that alongside some of the teachers who are in the community to work, especially in the evening one, to make sure the children water it around to see that this plants or these flowers can grow very well for us. Now our project objective was that we wanted to create a clean environment around Ampatano Spot, and then also prevent erosion around the spot, so that this erosion cannot break down this structure for us. They have to go and look for another, or government need to go and look for another money to go and come and build that structure again. There was also to create awareness for the learners and in the community to know the importance of good sanitation. And then train the learners on how to prevent soil erosion in their community, so that when they grow in the near future, if they happen to have any soil erosion happening around their building, they can know how to protect it.
Please, you have 1 minute.
Okay, so that is how we went about our challenge for the month. So we did that, and then we came to have a slight budget about our project. We thought of the preparing of the land, and then planting materials, and then the transport fare to go and bring these materials from Aguna back to Ampatano. And then we also brought a environmental personnel who came to at least assist us how to plant it and plant it well. So we budgeted for that as 1,006, because this is an ongoing thing. We'll be doing we're going to do it till 2 years to see that the flowers are well grown before. We also talk about equipment that we may be using in planting these flowers. And we also talked about, I think, 800. Then we talk about maintenance and maintenance expenses like watering, cleaning, plant caring for the plant, disease control, maybe applying fertilizer around to let the plant grow faster for us. We also talk about that as 1,600. That's why we talked about that. So that's a small budget.
Thank you so much, Francis. I think it's time and the budget is well visible. So I think, thank you very much for your presentation. In order for us to move by the time, let's go to the judges to get probably questions from them.
All right, so I'm trying to remember the name. Is it
Francis from Ampatano?
Ampatano, that's the name I was trying to get. So thank you for your submission.
Okay.
I'm looking at the risk component of the project or intervention. It didn't come out clearly for me, except the one you mentioned that the flowers, I think children also may tap out the flowers. So we're going to put some rope around it to protect the flowers. But I was hoping we were going to be very elaborate on the risk components, because I see this more like an activity which does not provide a strong sustainability intervention. Because if you are if you are trying to grow plant or plant flowers, I mean, what happens if there's a heavy downpour? If it destroys the flowers or the plant, are we going to look for another money to go and buy the seedlings again? So that's what my struggle is in terms of the risk or the sustainability of that intervention. I didn't see that come out very clearly in your presentation. So that would be my comment now on this. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ezekiel. Akwesi, over to you.
Francis, I just want to ask you, so you've been given this building as a place for the spot, and I really think that the idea what you're putting forth about preventing the soil erosion is definitely a great idea. I'm just wondering, at the end of the day, if the people who are giving the building are not really getting really hands-on involved, if you're giving some of the students and assigning them to be taking care of the things, I'm just wondering about maybe with the whole project, really looking at it to be more on the education level before going on to some of the hands-on, to make sure that it will be a long-term sustainable solution, because definitely there's a lot of money here to try and get a lot of the materials that if they're not cared for and people are not really understanding the importance of really caring for them. So I'm wondering who all is really behind the idea of doing this whole planting? I guess maybe that's my question.
Okay. I am behind it, but alongside with my fellow catalyst.
Okay, and the catalysts are consisting of who? Sorry, just so I can understand the context better.
Yes, they are. We have some even living in the community, so they are in charge of monitoring it in the evening. We also come in the morning and also go and check how it's being done, or how is the plant faring.
Okay, well, I think that helps. I was just wondering if there was more participation on more of the whole, the entire community level, because caring for these kind of things can also use a lot of effort and things like this. That's why I'm just wondering the level of commitment from everybody from the community.
Okay, community engagement was done even before we started the project. We told them that our idea, and I think when we finished we spoke to we have community leaders, selected community leader. You have to call them and also inform them about the safety of the plants and then the flowers that are there, so they can also take care of it. When a goat or a sheep is moving around that can spoil it, they can also make sure that they prevent that. Or maybe when little children are playing around the area that can spoil, they can also get involved, especially those who stay around the spot.
Okay, thank you so much, Francis and Team Ampatano. So we move to Dadwen. So I'm just going to share my screen, and Dadwen, you can get ready for your presentation.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, my name is Daniel Mansonabo, presenting from Dadwen. Next slide. Next slide. Our project is a community-led initiative aimed at improving local environmental practice. We are aiming at or focusing on two areas, that is waste management and tree planting. And under waste management, we are focusing on both organic and inorganic waste. Next slide. So our project objectives is to improve waste disposal practices and also promote the 3 R's, the reduce, reuse, and recycle of waste. We are also planting trees to combat deforestation, which resulted when a new chief was installed in our community and they cut down all the trees in the community. Next slide. So what are the environmental challenges we are facing? You know, our community are not educated enough to segregate waste. And as I said earlier, because of the installation of a new chief, all the trees in the community was cut down. So we are planting more trees to cover that one. And because we are facing a lot of pollution, which results in improper disposal of waste and littering in our community, you can see it even from the picture. Next slide. So how are you tackling waste management? We aim to place a locally made bins in some vantage areas, especially the school compound and some selected location in our community, so that we segregate waste. In fact, on one spot, you are trying to place at least 3 bins at the same area so that you separate waste, plastic, organic, and metals. And also by doing that, we are promoting or creating awareness on how possible you can reduce waste and also the use of single plastic to do our everyday activities. For example, I've been using one polythene bag for the past 3 months. I've been using the same polythene bag. So you create more awareness on the use of single plastics for that. Next slide. Next, so on the tree planting, you are forming eco clubs in our schools to plant trees, not planting the trees, also to maintain the trees. You are involving the community members to help us with native species such as orange, lemon, apple trees, mahogany. These are trees that grows well in our community and it is favorable in our community. Next slide. So what are the benefits? So when we are able to do proper waste management, we are reducing pollution, promoting sustainability, and protect the natural resources. And also, when we are able to plant more trees, we are increasing the green cover in our community, improves air quality, and prevents soil erosion, and also provides habitat for animals such as birds. When you were a case and there were more trees in our community, birds used to come on the trees and you'll be having fun with them. Next slide. So community involvement opportunities. Since I said earlier, it's a community-led initiative, you can see with regards to the clearing of the site, community people are helping us. So we also create more awareness on how the community people can come on board to execute our projects. We also place some posters on social media and be doing public education in events such as Kundum, church services, and so on and so forth. Next slide.
Please, you have 1 minute.
Please, go on. This is our project timeline. It's a 2-year project timeline. Next slide. So in the 2 years, we are planning to reduce campus plastic waste by 70% and cover 80% of our campus land by trees. Next slide. So this is our budget estimated 10,000. Next slide. So 10,000, you're expecting 40% from in kind, 35% from donation, and 25% from grants. Next slide. So this is our expected impact: reduce plastic waste by 40% within a year, to increase our green space, and also create a healthier and cleaner environment in Dadwen. Next slide. So in conclusion, we are saying Dadwen Green Project offers a chance for us all to come together to create a cleaner and greener future. So we are inviting everybody to come on board. You can do it by supporting, volunteering, and even spreading awareness so that we execute our project within 2 years. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Daniel Manson. So to Akwesi and Ezekiel, do we have any questions for the team?
Maybe can we just go back to the budget slide for a second, just so we can look at it, because we were only able to see it for a second. Thank you. No, I'm coming.
Okay, please, which slide?
The budget,
the budget.
one.
The budget
Oh,
one.
okay.
And the source of funding.
Okay, so this is the main budget. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm there.
Okay, so it's okay. I guess my first, well, two different things. My first question has to do with the fact that you were starting off as you were talking about how the new chief came in and cut down all the trees. So I'm just wondering what has changed since the new chief has been in power that we can make sure that the trees are going to be sustained. And my second question is, right now you have a budget right now for 10,000 Ghana cedis, and you have a budget of 4,000 Ghana cedis for locally made bins. What are you making the locally made bins out of for 4,000 Ghana cedis?
Okay, so the reason why the trees were cut down as a result of the installation of the new chief was regards to people defecating in under the tree, especially the banana and the plantain trees were all over the community. So as a result of cutting down the banana and the plantain trees, not to create confusion, they decided to cut every tree. So you've spoken to the chief, and I'm the assemblyman for the area, and we are having this together with the community. You've seen the needs for us to replant our trees, because now the sun is scorching us, and you have no proper shade in our community. So that's the sustainability. And with regards to the local made beans, we are making 40, and we are doing that with raffia and bamboo. You'll be having some nails, and with the raffia, we as catalysts or students cannot go to the bush to cut raffia. So you engage some people to do that for us. So you'll be paying them, and the artisans who will be helping us will also be given a little thing to refresh themselves. It's a 2-year project. So in the next slide, we said something about the source of funding. If Cedu can do us a favor with how we can, yes. So this is our source of funding. So grants, apply for environmental and sustainability grant from Joska Spot that we are doing right now. And we are applying for only 25% with regards to our 10,000 budget. And donation, we seek donation from local business, resident, eco-conscious individuals, which is around 35%. And you also be in kind, partner with local organizations to receive trees, tools, and other supplies. When you went to the Ignite program at Funko, you were able to collaborate with the gardener there to get some trees to plant in our on our compound.
which takes up the 40%. So I don't know if Ezekiel have any question before we proceed.
Yeah, I also had a similar concern that Akwesi raised earlier on, because the project is not addressing the fundamental problem of the tree felling by the people in the community. But so if trees were felled because people were defecating, then does it mean that in future, after planting trees, people will go back and defecate and they'll end up felling the trees again? So the question is, how do we sustain?
Yes.
So I think
Yeah,
that
as
is
assemblyman, our major challenge with not regards to the main trees, there were banana and plantain trees. We are living in a typical village. So there was a problem. If you are cutting my banana tree, I also cut your apple tree. So in order not to create that confusion, the chief decided to clear the community, whether banana, apple, any other tree, to clear out the community. But now you are planting the tree, not the banana that will be defecating on under it. You are planting sustainable trees such as apples, oranges, and lemon, because all these trees use that as apart from serving as food, it's also serve a medicinal purpose for us, and we are feeling that impact. So even when our project was not on, we met as a community and decided to replant our trees along the streets of that. You want to beautify the community and also to provide the shades. That's why I said it's a community-led initiative.
Okay, thank you so much. Ezekiel, can we move ahead?
yes.
Okay,
Let's
thank you
proceed.
so much. So we will take the last presentation from Kato Brekum. I don't know if you are in the house, but I'm just going to share your slides and you can go ahead to present. So Kato Brekum, over to you.
Okay, good evening to you all. This is Kato Brekum, and our challenge title is Converting Coconut Husk Mist into Brisk Charcoal. Go to the next slide. The major problem we have in our area and in Ghana in general.
Please, before you proceed, we are getting feedback. So if you are connected with two devices, probably you can distance them.
Okay. I think, is it okay now?
Okay.
Can you hear me? Is it okay?
Yes, it's better now.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yeah, the major problem we have in Ghana is the cutting down of trees when it comes to deforestation. And so we decided to find a solution and a lasting one to it. In fact, one of the major costs is people cut a lot of younger trees and older trees for burning of charcoal. Go to the next slide. You can go to the next slide for me. Okay. So charcoal is very, very important commodity because it has both it has both local and international use. It has both industrial and home use application. So it is very, very, very in high demand. And so we decided to find a way so that we can create something to replace the local method they use in burning charcoal, and the traditional method, which mostly included burning of trees, cutting down of trees, and using that for charcoal burning. So that led to a whole lot of indiscriminate tree cutting. Let's go to the next slide. So we came up with is to we came out to see that we can come out with a solution. Go to the previous one before this. The previous one before this. And so we came up with using coconut husk In fact, that is what has become most of the time waste around, and that people just throw it away. So you can go ahead. So we try to come out to the solution through coconut husk, and then we find a way to use the coconut husk. We can also use the coconut shell. Any of them, you can use them. In fact, you can even use cassava peels, corn cobs, and any material that you can burn. And we combine that with a binder, and then we bent that under controlled environment, and that gave us a very nice powder, which we combined with the go to the next slide, which we combined with the powder we have grounded and produced from the coconut husk. Okay, so you can see the images. In the image on your left, we are drying it, and then you can see, yes, where we involve other students through the process. Oh, you go ahead. That is the process where we were drying, another process where we were also burning, and then the next process, the step 2, is where we were pounding with the learners. In fact, we involved them so that they could learn the process as well. And so on the image on your left, is where we are pounding. The image on your right is where they were preparing the binder from cassava. Cassava foodstuff, where we were preparing the starch. So go to the next step.
Please, you have 1 minute.
Okay. So you can see that is where we were mixing, and then that is the result of the molding. Yes, go to the next step. Yes, that is the output after we have came out with the brisk, and the one with we were burning to show and to prove. Yes, go to the next one. To save our time, the budget we estimated to include, because this one we only used the students, the learners who were in our group, but I think we wanted to expand to the community so that many people will come to know the project and begin to replicate the same thing. And so we estimated for about 1,000 people for that expansion. And we estimated, our total estimate for the expansion is 5,000. And then we can also expand the project because there is an automated machine that can help the process. So basically, that is how we are going to use coconut husk to solve 2 problems. 1, to replace the traditional charcoal, and 2, manage waste disposal. That is where people throw these corn husks around. So I think that is the nature of our project.
Okay, so I think
thank you.
Thank you so much. The updated one is still the same. I just don't know if I'm the one who missed it. So to the panelists, Akwesi and Ezekiel, over to you, please.
Okay, so thank you for that submission. I think it's a very fantastic idea. Converting waste into something meaningful or useful. Very, 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 very fantastic. I get the point regarding addressing deforestation and then providing an alternative. And I was hoping that you were going to make a very strong, business case, because this is one is, aside addressing environmental issues, is a fantastic source of livelihood for young people.
Yes.
And again, there's one of the major things or issue that is being addressed, not only in Ghana, but globally, the issues around air pollution or indoor pollution. One of the benefits of this, briquettes is that it doesn't smoke as compared to charcoal and wood fuel. So it's about trying to make those business cases, how it's going to reduce cancer or respiratory disease because of the smoke that comes from this, wood fuel and all that. So I wanted you, in the name of sustainability, I was hoping we were going to, focus on that area, that because this can create employment for young people whilst addressing deforestation and providing, other source of livelihood, So I wanted to have, so at least you can sustain, this wonderful, but I didn't get to see the budget, so I would have loved to see the components in the budget. But the concept, the idea, is a very fantastic. So kudos to you and your team. All right, over to you.
Okay. It's quite unfortunate because when I was uploading, the network was very poor. So I think that is what has delayed the updates, which included the budget. But I like the idea you're also submitting and adding up to it. Yes, we can expand it, and then it has a lot of several other benefits.
Okay. Thank you so much, Udu. So I think we will take questions from Akwesi. I think that was a feedback. So let's see if probably Akwesi have some questions before we move on.
No, definitely I agree with Ezekiel in the fact that it would be nice to see the budget to make things a little bit clearer. You made mention of getting an automated machine. I'm just wondering if this machine is powered with what? Maybe you can give us a little bit more information about that. And you were saying that this was to bring an impact to about 1,000 people. Right now, well, sorry, let me stop myself for a second. I want to also say that it's amazing to see that you've already started this whole project already. But yeah, you were talking about now reaching out to 1,000 people. So I'm just wondering, what exactly is the plan about how to do that? Because you showed a lot about the process what's been going on, but not so much about the next steps of how that was all going to actually unfold.
The latter part of the question was missing. I didn't get it clear. He was asking about how we'll be able to extend it to the community, if I get him right, but the latter part of the question was breaking because of my internet. In fact, if I heard him right, yes, we intend to educate the people by demonstrating and holding workshop and training for them. So, hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So what we intend to do is we intend to mobilize people, the community, and then we demonstrate to them, and then we compare the traditional charcoal to the qualities this risk has, and then teach them how they can produce it themselves, so that it will not only be us, but they can also produce it for themselves. And those who want to use it as a venture, so that they can also use it as a means of employment.
Okay, thank you so much. And thanks to all the sales team for your fantastic presentation. We enjoy every bit of it with your innovative ideas and then creative ways you intend to solve environmental challenges in your various communities. So with this, we brought all the 6 presentations to an end. And now I will leave it to the judges to make the final determination of which idea came first, which idea came second, and if there are general feedback, you can as well give that. So over to you. So we are hoping that the best team is going to be announced the winner tonight, and they will move home with 5,000 Ghana cedis to improve on their idea and make it even better. So please, over to you now. I don't know who will make the announcement, or we start with comment before the final announcement is being made.
Okay,
so in order will do. Please, I'll hand over to either Fad or Kato or the judges.
Akwesi, why don't you give just some of your overall reflections, and then Chibezi do the same, and then we announce the winners.
Okay, thank you, Kat. So first up, I want to say a big thank you to all the different projects. Seriously, I see that there's been a lot of work being done by every different spot, and even though when all the results come out, it may not be that some of the projects who are wishing to win have won. You've already started down the road, and definitely just carry on with where you're going. I can see that there's some different spots where there's the potential of, if you don't have the money coming in, even just starting with small steps, that things can also start moving forward in terms of moving forward on the project, and also sometimes slower to help make sure that the project is a success.
Okay, thank you so much, Akwesi. Ezekiel, will you give your final reflection before?
Oh, certainly, certainly. I also want to say a very big congratulations to all the presenters. Those are very fantastic, ideas. And of course, I mean, resources are always limited, but that is not to say that those who may not come out or who will not come out as the winners should give up on what they are doing. So for me, I mean, when it comes to projects, and again, given the resources available, I personally took a number of things into consideration. One is about the reality of the project in terms of the funding available, to you or for you. And then also in terms of the potential to grow or to sustain the project, not just doing an activity, but usually we want to look at how sustainable that idea will be and how realistic your intervention will be, depending or looking at the funding available. So usually those key criteria or those key point factors, play a key role, in going through or assessing projects. Having said this, I want to say thanks to the Edu Spot team led by Kat and the wonderful team Sedu, Gertrude, Fad, for this opportunity. So yeah, so that's all from my end. Thank you. Over to you.
Wow, thank you so much, Ezekiel. And I like that point that whether you win or not, your ideas are fantastic. So keep working on them. They are all great ideas that have potentials. So, okay, Akwesi want to come in, please. You have the floor.
I guess there was one thing I wanted to also add. That I was thinking as I was listening to the different projects, and that there's similarities between different projects, is that even with that, even lacking of finances, and we know that financial resources are limited. Just looking at the different spots already that are involved in this, that for some of these projects, it's not necessarily we need money that we need, and maybe if people are doing tree planting or people are needing tools or needing different ideas. So I'm just I can see that within the spot itself, I really hope that afterwards there can be some continuation, but also even just sharing of resources in terms of knowledge, and even in terms of growing materials, whichever, between all of these different projects and the ideas. So I just wanted to share that.
Okay, thank you so much, Akwesi, for that. Yeah, so you've already started on a good note, and keep up with your good works. I don't know if Kat will do us an honor by announcing the winners, or probably if you have any comment you would like to make before that.
Sorry to say that my internet is dipping in and out constantly, so I would like to hand over the wonderful honor and drum roll of these announcements to Ekwezi or Chibezi, who are beautifully in rhyming names. Well done to everybody. I know sometimes competitions make some people feel like in some sense they've lost, but it's been a privilege to listen to all these amazing presentations, even if though my light and my network have been on and off. Over to you, Ekwezi or Chibezi. Maybe you can do one each. Maybe Ekwezi you do third place, Chibezi second place, Ekwezi first place.
Okay, well, yeah, thanks, Kat, because I mean, this is not the most fun part but at the same time, it's also fun to see things moving forward. So first, I'd like to just say that we had the difficulty in trying to go through and seeing which should be placed where. So we actually have a tie for third place. Our tie for third place will actually go to Abofour and also Aboabo number 4. So you'll both be winning third place for this challenge.
Please, did I hear Abofour and which other team?
Abofour and Aboabo number 4.
Oh, Aboabo number 4, amazing. So Abofour and Aboabo number 4 for third place. Congratulations. Give some claps. Can we get some claps in the comment section? I think they've done amazing well and they deserve some claps. Yes. Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. So Ezekiel, you can move ahead to make the announcement for the second place.
If it wouldn't be too much, I will kindly request if Akwesi maybe can announce the winners. I've been in darkness, so I'm even unable to make notes. So it's a bit. So, but I don't want to mess up the whole announcement. So if I can't take a note actually, I'm in total darkness now because of ECG, power outage. So if thank you, Akwesi, my brother.
Okay. Sorry about that, and that is well understood.
Yes, well, and yes, no, thank you, Chibizi. You've done very well, even during the last part here in the dark, especially. So let's carry on. And so for the second place winner will actually be Kato Brekum with their coconut charcoal briquettes.
Do you say Kato Brekum for second place? Did I hear that?
That's good.
Wow, amazing. Amazing. Congratulations, Kato Brekum. Let's give them some claps in the comment section. I think they've done amazing well and they deserve some claps. Okay, so the ultimate winner for tonight, who is taking home the 5,000 Ghana cedis to further work on their idea, to improve it, to scale it.
So the ultimate winner for tonight, who will be taking home the 5,000 Ghana cedis. I'm sorry, I didn't write down the name of the place, but it is the project that's in Kenya doing the mass snail farming.
Wow, congratulations, Joska Spot. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I think they deserve more claps. Let's give it out to them. Let's give it out to them. Charles, thank you so much for staying all night. I thought probably you might have dropped out by now, but you've stayed all night till the end of the whole thing. And congratulations to you and your team. This shows a lot of commitment, even to stay awake at this time. I think, I don't know if anyone have some last words to say. Probably I can give the judges and then cards a minute or two to say something. Otherwise, we thank you all for coming. I just don't know. So, okay, Fad has his hand up. Fad is our boss in this whole strike.
In terms of prizes, the first place get 3,000 cedis, 5,000 cedis. Second place 3,000, but third place we agreed to award 1,000 from the judges. So I felt we should communicate that for clarity.
Oh, okay. So they are sharing the 2,000.
Yes,
okay.
the third place they are sharing.
Okay. Thank you so much. So Abofour and Aboabo, you have 1,000 cedis each. Kato Brekum, you have 3,000, and then Joska Spot, you have 5,000. All this is to work on your project and make it bigger, make more impact, and make your communities green. That's all we are looking for. if there are no further comments, we would like to first of all thank the judges so much for staying awake till this time to give us all this amazing feedback. And I think it's evident that all these ideas are amazing, like they said earlier. So they already encourage us to keep working on them. And I want to add up that they all have the potential, so keep working on them like the judges have said. Also to everyone who came here to follow all these presentations. Some of you, your sport are not even part of the competition. I mean, the finalists, but you still make time to join to learn about all this process, which I think is amazing and fantastic. So keep it up, and we hope to see you more in subsequent meetings. And to the finalists who made their presentation this night, we thank you so much for your time and all the work you've put into this. Keep working on the ideas, and we are hoping to see all of them being materialized. Like the judges have already said, without funding, you've been able to do something. So it means you can still go ahead and continue with the idea. Hopefully, bigger grants might come later. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Have a good night.